Mayad nga agahon. Coming to you from Diniwid, Barangay Balabag, Boracay Island in the Philippines. Just getting my day started here. Hope everyone is having a good day. Got my morning cup of coffee here. My Copico Blanca. This Copico Blanca, they're only about 7 to 8 pesos each. You can get this at the sari-sari stores. But probably here in Boracay, you'll probably pay like 10 pesos for this. I got like a 10 pack of this Copico Blanca at the Save More Grocery in City Mall, Boracay, and I paid 70 pesos. So about 7 pesos each. But I'm sure if you get it from the sari-sari store, they'll probably sell it to you for 10 pesos. You know, they have to make money in the sari-sari store. Somebody has to man the store all day long and maybe even rent, A lot of times the sari-sari store, they're in front of somebody's house. So usually they don't have a rent, for those sari-sari store. As far as weather here in the Philippines and here in the Boracay Island, we've been having great weather here in Boracay Island. Like the last 3 days have been sunny, no rain. In the Philippines, I'm checking on the Pag-asa, the weather channel here in the Philippines. There is no weather system inside the Philippine Area of Responsibility. They call that here PAR, P-A-R. But they're expecting cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms for most of Luzon, Metro Manila, Ifugao, Benguet, where Baguio is, Pangasinan, Mindoro, pretty much the entire Philippines. It's like that, because we're already in the habagat season in the Philippines. It's a monsoon rains. So off and on it rains. That's the same here in Boracay, It could be sunny, bright, sunny day on the beach. Like I was walking yesterday. I filmed on White Beach. That was around 9:30. I started at Willis Rock, but on Station 1. And it was bright and sunny. You could see nothing, blue skies. Then by the time I got to Station 2, there were some clouds. But it never rained. It never rained yesterday. That's just the way it is, the weather in Boracay and most of the Philippines during the month of June. But I do expect more rain to come once July and August hit. July and August, some of the rainiest, wettest time of the year here in the Philippines. I always remember that because Dazzle told me the same thing. Her birthday is in the end of July, and my birthday is the 1st of August. And when I was growing up in the Philippines in the 70s, I just remember my birthday was always raining, sometimes even flooded, because at the time we lived in Quezon City, and I used to take the jeepney from Quezon City to Manila. I went to school at Letran College in Intramuros. An all-boys Catholic school is where I attended in Manila. Makaila Borke. Hi, how are you doing? I'm doing well, Makaila. Thank you for asking. Just getting my day started here. What day is today? I gotta look at what day. The 18th. This is our 20th day in Boracay Island. So we have about 10 more days left before we head back to our home in Numancia, Aklan. We decided to take 30 days here in Boracay just to enjoy it. I haven't been here that long. Usually when Dazzle and I, Leanna, when we go to Boracay Island, we normally spend maybe 4 or 5 days at the most. But it's different when you take a long vacation like this in Boracay. You really get to slow vacation, enjoy. Usually when you're here in Boracay 4 to 5 days, you're like go, go, go. You know, a lot of tourists when they come here, non-stop. You wake up early, you stay up late, you know, you get worn out when you do that, when you're quick vacation to Boracay. It's a lot better this way because we could take our time. We don't try to cram all the activities that we want in that short period of time. Rain season now, it is considered because we've already had one typhoon in the Philippines, Typhoon Auring. The next one, they'll use the letter B as in Bravo. They'll name the next typhoon. They were predicting that this month of June that we were gonna get two typhoons or hurricanes to enter the Philippine area of responsibility, the PAR. But so far, we've only had one, Typhoon Auring, and it hit towards middle to northern Luzon. When it finally made landfall, it was around the Batanes area, Babuyan Islands area, northern tip of Luzon Islands. That's normally the normal trajectory of typhoons in the Philippines. I think half of the typhoons last year hit northern Luzon and that Batanes region. That Ilocos Norte, Cagayan, and Batanes, those people are just used to severe weather like that. It's part of it's been like that for many years in the Philippines. But it is also considered habagat season now. Habagat is when the winds change here in the Philippines and then it brings the monsoon rains in the Philippines. You've been to Cebu? Yes, I've been to Cebu. A couple of times I've been to Cebu. We've actually stayed in Cebu City. We took the ferry, the fast craft to Bohol. We went to Tagbilaran City. We went to Panglao. Panglao is really nice in Bohol. It's comparable to Boracay. Shorter distance on that Alona Beach. Alona Beach is the popular beach, kind of like White Beach in Boracay. Cebu is nice. I mean, Cebu's packed. If you go to Cebu City, it's crowded. Cebu City, probably second to Manila, maybe Davao City, are the biggest cities here in the Philippines. So Cebu City's got traffic. It's nice to me. It's nicer than Manila because you get the nice sea view. You know, anywhere when you're riding around Cebu City, there's the mall there along the water. You got the nice bridge that they had built. Dazzle and I went over that bridge. It's nice. The only thing I would say would be the traffic. During rush hour in Cebu, you can get stuck in traffic. And then the amount of people that's in Cebu City. But Cebu City is nice. Outside this Cebu is what I prefer. I like the more provincial style of living rather than the city living. And like my friend Robbie, he's in Boal, Cebu. That's kind of like my pace, you know, close to the ocean, close to the beach, more rural, more provincial. But I like Cebu. There is a strong gay community in Cebu. I don't know, you know, it's like, I'm sure there probably is, like you said, Kotam, all right. Jumpy, JP. Hello, Ginno, everyone. I just have a few minutes. I am still, no worries, JP, no worries. Thank you for coming online real quick. Appreciate it. Hey, I understand. You're still at work, man. You can always catch the replay. I'll post the replay on the Dazzle community. I'll put a link on the Dazzle community to the replay of the live stream. So if you want to watch it later, JP. All All right. Today I wanted to discuss. I always get a lot of questions on the Philippines, and today I want to discuss medical insurance. Medical insurance and hospitals basically in the Philippines. I think that's an important topic. A lot of people sometimes don't think about hospitals here or medical insurance in the Philippines until something happens. And that's probably not the best time to start thinking about hospitals and start thinking about medical insurance. It probably would be better if you do that before coming to the Philippines, either on a vacation or many that contact me, when they come here, they want to try out the Philippines for a possible move to the Philippines. Some come here for their recon, is what I call it. Recon, I call it's like when they come here for about a month and a half, and they try several areas here in the Philippines before they finally make the jump. Usually, they go back to the country where they come from and then decide what their soft landing or destination is here in the Philippines. Yes, JP. That is what Mual Boal is known for. It's the sardine run. It's like where you can swim with like a million sardines. It's awesome. I haven't done it, but I've been wanting to go to Mual Boal because of my good friend Robbie is there. He's invited us to stay at his house in Mual Boal. So next year, hopefully, Dazzle want to fly already by next year. If not, we can catch the ferry. We can catch the ferry to Cebu. There's a ferry that leaves in Iloilo that goes to Cebu, so we'll catch the ferry. JB Manalang, good morning, JB. Thank you for joining the live stream, my friend. Appreciate you. You're always on the live stream now, and appreciate that. Lucita, my good friend in Maine. I think you're my only friend in Maine. Unless somebody's watching us from Maine and doesn't comment, but I don't get many people watching the live stream from Maine. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Isco Pico, and then that might be a commercial. Isco Pico on my cup, man. But that might be I might contact Copico and start telling, hey, hook me up with some free Copico Blanca. Thumbs love. Hey, all right, Teresita. Thank you. Good morning, Teresita. Tabulina. Good morning. Support for, thank you so much. Gina Latchman. Hey, bruh, where are you from? Originally, I was born and raised here in the Philippines. Born in Tondo, Manila. Or one of the roughest part of Manila is where I was born. I grew up here in the Philippines. Went to an all-boys Catholic school at Tron College, and then eventually, after elementary school, I went to the United States and moved to Long Beach, California. Is where I spent my high school years. Graduated from Long Beach Wilson High in Long Beach, California, and then I joined the military. I did 20 years active duty in the United States Air Force. After retirement from the Air Force, I worked in Tucson, Arizona, St. Mary's Hospital, and then finally decided when I was 45 years old, 14 years ago, I retired here back in the Philippines because I always considered the Philippines my home. I never felt like I had a home, even though I spent nearly 30 years in the United States. When you're in the military, you move a lot. Every 3 years, pretty much, you move to one base to another. I lived in California, I lived in Texas, Louisiana, Korea, Japan. Just, you move so much in the military. You don't really put down any roots anywhere. That's why I always wanted to move back to the Philippines and retire here. And enjoying life, enjoying my retirement here. I couldn't ask for a better retirement. This last 14 years is like the best times of my life. Yeah, I wake up early too here in Sydney and having coffee. Oh, thank you, JV. I'm the same way. I'm usually up by 4:30. 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm usually up. Like, I've already answered some of my messages on WhatsApp, on my messenger, and then email. I already did that, and I actually answered some of the comments already, because I always schedule a video to come out at midnight. I'm sleeping, of course. I'm not awake at midnight. It's just the YouTube. I've found that if I release the videos on midnight, that time seems to do better than other times of the day. So I've just gotten used to it. Every midnight, like, I think I finished 4 videos already in the next 4 days. So every midnight, those videos are just gonna come out. And first thing I do is start answering those comments from those videos. But I always get up early. It's been a habit of mine since, I guess, since I joined the military. I joined the United States Air Force when I was 17, and ever since then, I've just been an early person, because my 20 years in the military, my routine, usually by 5 a.m., I'm out the door running already. I would run for at least an hour. That's even before I work. That's just my routine. And then even when I retired, that was my routine for the longest time. But now, I can't run as much. I'm getting there. I'm able to jog now. So eventually, I think I'll be able to run again. But I just walk a lot. And here in Boracay, I've been doing a lot of walking, because I don't have Bumblebee here, our tricycle, or I don't have our car. So you have no choice here in Boracay but to walk a lot, which is helpful. Like yesterday evening at sunset, we took Chloe to Diniwid Beach, and Chloe had a blast. I mean, we were there for like over an hour. She's just like walking around the beach. They're really dog friendly in Diniwid. That's why we picked the Diniwid area, the Diniwid Beach, when we decided to spend 30 days here. When you come to Boracay, White Beach is really strict as far as pets. They don't allow pets on White Beach. Somebody will, even if your dog has a diaper, they will tap you and tell you you can't. There's actually a sign that says they can fine you on White Beach if you have a dog on. There's just a big sign there on White Beach that I think 20 items that you can't do on White Beach. They did that because a while back, before that, they had a closure of Boracay Island. They closed this whole island for like over 6 months, right before the pandemic too. So people here really suffered because of that closure, and then the pandemic. They closed the island, and they called it the rehabilitation, because it needed rehabilitation. It was a mess. Boracay was a mess a few years back before the pandemic, because garbage, trash, the roads here were terrible, no sidewalks on the road. The rehab really did Boracay really what it improved Boracay, because I've been here I lived here in Boracay 2011 and 2012, and trash was a big problem on White Beach. People used to drink Red Horse and San Miguel on the beach till the morning hours. People passed out on the beach, bottles laying on the beach, floating on the water. Just a mess. That's why the rehab came, because they weren't taking care of the environment here in Boracay. So now it's, way better than it was in 2011, 2012. That's why they're so strict. They're so strict on White Beach. White Beach is about 4 kilometers, 2.5 kilometers stretch of white sand beach here in Boracay Island. That's where most of your tourists come. So everything on White Beach, you can eat there, you can drink there, you can smoke there, you have no pets. Pretty much anything that you can think that you can't do. Before, there was a lot of vendors on White Beach that were allowed to put stands on the beach itself. None of that anymore. They actually just brought back some of the beach bed before. They took out all the beach beds in Boracay, but now they're back. A lot of your big hotels like the Henan, the Lind, Mandarin Bay, they allow the beach beds now with the umbrella. So because it gets hot in on White Beach, so they allow that. They haven't allowed the massage on the beach. That was one of very popular activity in Boracay in the past. They used to allow masseuse, several of them, hundreds of masseuse, right on the beach. So you can be laying down on the beach and somebody could be massaging you. They don't allow that. The massages, they have to be in the building. So you could be in a massage area where you can see the ocean, but it has to be in the building, not allowed on the beach like they used to. But they might bring that back because that was a popular attraction in Boracay, was allowing the people. Because to me, why would you not allow that? You can just lay down a towel, or they allow the beach bed. So why can't they allow like another beach bed where people can get a massage? Because that's a nice activity, laying down there by the beach, hearing that water splash, like shh, that's the ocean, the splash, and then getting a full body massage. Man, that's like I miss that. I used to partake on the massage on the beach. So hopefully they bring it back. Hopefully I understand that they're not, one of the popular activities before on the beach, they would have buffet. They would have buffet right on the beach. They would put long tables and chairs, and you can have a buffet with your feet on the sand. That I can understand that they're not bringing back, because people used to make a mess on the beach. You know how people are sometimes. They eat and then there's a chicken bone on the beach, and then dogs would come. So that I can see them not bringing back. But the massage on the beach, hey, come on now, local government. That's a money maker for Boracay. People love doing that. People love doing that. JP, I follow a lady from Alaska. Sardine. Ooh, man, I'm gonna have to look that up. JP, I like those kind of things, man. Let me take a picture. Sardine. Like yesterday, I finally watched this videos because Daniel, my good friend from Jacksonville, Florida, he told me about this fishing thing on that bridge in Tampa. So I watched video. Man, I ended up watching 4 or 5 videos of that thing because I was so interested. They were catching so many fish, and I'm not even a fisherman. I was showing it to Dazzle. Babe, look at all the fishes that they're catching, all the bait that they were using. Oh, nice, JP. Man, maybe we can time it to go together, man. Because like I said, my good friend Robbie, he's at Moabwala, and he's been inviting Dazzle and I for the longest time to go stay at his place. He's got a nice like 3-bedroom fenced in home that he's renting. He's got a yard, quiet. He doesn't have any neighbors. He's close to the beach. Man, I've been like, I've been wanting to, I could see us barbecuing at Robbie's backyard, man. Tanya, hey Tanya, good morning, Tanya. Thank you for joining the live stream. You're always on the live stream, and I appreciate your support, my friend. Abrahinam, wow, all right. JP, back to work for me. Don't forget to like the chat, please. Oh, thank you, JP. Serbia, wow. I think you're the first one, BZ, from Serbia. That's posted on our live stream. Thank you so much. I love it when I see the flags of the different countries, people watching the live stream from all over the world. Thank you so much. JB Manalang, makes sense now. I was wondering about the TV timing of your videos. Oh, all right. Yeah, it's like I try to stay ahead because it's hard. Like if it's like I try to push out like one video a day. You know, it's like I'm hoping it helps the algorithm. I'm hoping it's like, and then people seem to enjoy the videos. So I get a lot of compliments on the videos. So I try to schedule every midnight. That my videos every midnight comes out. So I'm always about 4 or 5 videos ahead. Like right now. What's today's date? Is Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I already have videos planned to come out at midnight. So today or tomorrow, I can be working on our Monday or Tuesday video. I try to stay ahead because less makes my life easier, less pressure on trying to come up with ideas or things to film. I guess it's just my military background. We're always like, I was in the Boy Scouts when I was young. I was in the military for 20 years. We just come prepared. We always kind of like do advanced things. So that's why. Balikbayan guy, good morning. Good morning, my friend. Thank you for the white bee. Oh, it's all right. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed that video. I figure people would enjoy that video because it's hit or miss with White Beach because during the summer months, Boracay gets a lot of flack for White Beach. Most of the tourists come to Boracay to be on White Beach. They see all these amazing photos, videos of Boracay. And then when they arrive here, if they come here March, April, May, those 3 months, there's a lot of algae on White Beach. That's been going on since I've come here to Boracay, since 2011. We always have that algae bloom. Different natural things causes the algae bloom, but it disappoints some tourists when they come because they're going like they don't expect that there would be like algae, seaweed on White Beach. But because of the summertime, because it's hot, the sun is peaking, that's when the algae bloom happens. But as you can see, come June till like December, there's no algae on Front Beach. Little bit maybe, but nothing noticeable. But they do make a big deal about that algae. For me, it's not a big deal when they have the algae is because it's usually on the shoreline, so you can just walk past the algae and you're back in the turquoise waters again. But I know people do get disappointed when they see algae on the tourists, mostly the locals. We're used to, algae to me it's just part of the ecosystem. You get algae, you get seaweed, that's the one thing. That's why Dazzle and I decided to come here in June because this time of the year, it's just a good time. Most of the beaches, as you've seen, Diniwid, Bulabog, even the private beach at Nucos. I mean, the water is just spectacular, and then it's just amazing time. Less people too. If you haven't been noticing on the videos, there's less people in Boracay because it's no longer summer vacation. It's Wednesday here today. Monday, school started already. So the kids are back in school. So less people go to Boracay because, people with kids are back to school already. So, and it's going to be like that. July, usually they consider like the start of off season. I mean, there's still people in Boracay come July to December. But even the locals here, when you talk to them, they know that it's going to be leaner times as far as businesses here in Boracay. Actually, we have some friends like Dazzle's, some of Dazzle's relatives. They actually plan for this. Come July to December, they already have other jobs somewhere else planned to do because they know January to June is like the peak season in Boracay. They're going to make their money during that time, but they know come July to December, leaner times for the workers here in Boracay. Even the hotels, you'll notice it. like Miko, Dazzle's younger brother, he works at the hotel, Mandarin Bay Hotel here. They have less employees come the off season. It's just like anywhere else, that's tourist driven. Less tourists, less workers needed. But balikbayan guy, I mean, it's like for me, uh, I always sell this. It's like Boracay is my happy place on earth. There's not a place on earth that I'd rather be than Boracay Island. That's why I know Dazzle and I, eventually, we're gonna live in Boracay. For sure, once I get my Social Security, then I'm gonna be 59 in August. So when I turn 62, I can collect my early Social Security. So for sure, in 3 years, we will be more likely living here in Boracay Island. Maybe even sooner. Maybe even sooner if we can afford it. Because Boracay, of course, it's more expensive than living on mainland Aklan. Like right now, we live in mainland Aklan. I would say, cost of living wise, we save about 25% to 30% living in mainland Aklan than here if we lived here in Boracay. So, but once I get my Social Security from the United States with my military pension, that would double, more than double my pension here. We can afford Boracay then. So Magdaleno Billones. All right, Magdaleno Billones. I'm Filipino, never been in Boracay. You should go, my friend. Most Filipinos that I know, especially the ones coming from the United States, Boracay is always high on the list. That's why we meet a lot of our subscribers from the United States and Canada. I can eat so many. Just even this year, like EJ and that came from Florida. We got Reggie from Canada. Just so many. Vincent, from Sacramento. Just so many people. When they come to the Philippines, they go to Boracay Island. That's kind of on a lot of people's bucket list because some of the best beaches in the Philippines is in Boracay Island. And the thing about Boracay Island, I tell people, it's so easy to come to Boracay Island. It's no longer difficult. Some people prefer Palawan, nothing wrong with that. It's like some people, Bohol, Panglao Beach. There's many tourist destinations in the Philippines, but the one thing that Boracay has made it easy to come here because there are direct flights to Caticlan, to Boracay Airport in Caticlan, Aklan, from Manila and Cebu. Many flights during the day. Same thing, Angeles City. There's direct flights to Caticlan, Boracay Airport. They have made it easy. I mean, you could be people from Manila all the time fly to Boracay on a Friday night, just spend the weekend in Boracay, go back to Manila on a Sunday night and be back to work. 3-day weekend. That usually is a busy time when it's a 3-day, 4-day weekend in Boracay because people just fly here. It's like an hour flight from Manila, hour flight from Angeles City, hour flight from Cebu City. Really convenient. And then when you land in Boracay Airport, you're only a 15-minute ferry ride to Boracay Island. So it doesn't take you long to get you to your destination. The one thing when you travel to a place like Palawan, you almost lose a whole day just to get to Palawan, to get to El Nido or Coron. And then you lose another day coming back. It's not easy to get there. Not a lot of direct flights to Palawan, Puerto Princesa. And then when you land in Puerto Princesa, you're still like 3 hours, 4 hours by land transportation. So like I said, you lose a day. You lose a day when you go to Palawan. In Boracay, like I said, you can leave your work early on a Friday afternoon be in Boracay by a sunset or by dinner at least, and then you got Saturday, Sunday, leave in the afternoon, Sunday, be back to work on Monday. They have made it convenient. They have made it easy for people in the Philippines to travel to Boracay. But if you've never been to Boracay, man, should be on your bucket list. I think it's you're not gonna find better beaches in the Philippines, and Boracay offers. If you want to stay away from people, there's beaches in Boracay that allows you to do that more in touch with nature. Not many people like Puka Beach. If you go Iligan Beach, not many tourists goes to those beaches. But if you like having Waikiki kind of setup where restaurants, hotels, infinity swimming pools right there, right on the beach, White Beach Boracay is for you. What part of the Philippines are you? This part of the Philippines, this is Boracay Island, is located in the main island is Panay Island in Western Visayas is where Panay Island is, and then Boracay is off Panay Island. The provinces here in Panay Island are Aklan Province, Antique Province, Capiz Province, and Iloilo Province. Those four provinces make up Panay Island. And then from Panay Island, there's Boracay Islands, like a tiny island off Aklan. We're popular here. Panay Island is popular for Iloilo City. The City of Love is what they call Iloilo City. One of the up-and-coming cities in the Philippines. Probably the cleanest cities in the Philippines, more organized city in the Philippines. Crime is really low. Very developed. Wide streets. The diversion road in Iloilo City's got like 6 lanes on each side. The mayor is amazing. He does a great job building the city out, becoming very modern. A lot of condominiums, a lot of people moving into Iloilo City. And then part of Panay Island, we're known for Rojas City is popular. That is the seafood capital of the Philippines. They just have a lot of seafood and send it all over the Philippines. If you like crab, if you like shrimp, if you like oysters, scallop, you name it. It's the seafood capital of the Philippines, Rojas City. And now the Canadian beaver. Mike, That Philippines Life, he has bar there, right on the beach, right on Bye Bye Beach, called the Canadian Beaver. Actually, we're headed there this Saturday. We're gonna go to the Canadian Beaver's 1-year anniversary. So that's gonna be cool. We're looking forward to that. Going to the Canadian Beaver this Saturday. But lots of fun. The one thing I can say, if Panay Island, if you love riding motorcycles, that's what a lot of people come here to Panay Island. The 4 provinces, a lot of paved cement roads, no traffic on most of the roads, except Iloilo City. You'll see a little bit of traffic in the Iloilo City. But once you're outside the cities, wide open spaces. If you go to Antique, you will ride like mountainous area. You'll ride mountainous area along the sea with a view. I mean, I know a lot of the motorcycle riders when they come to here to Panay Island, they're like amazed. This is like, it's built for that. If you're a motorcycle enthusiast, you would love riding around here in Panay Island. Patricia, I'm defying gravity. Ooh, I don't understand that, but hey, that's cool. Hey, Daniel, my good friend from Jacksonville, Florida. How are you doing today, my friend? Hello, Ginno and family. Recall seeing your videos of some businesses that were draining their sewage into the beaches. Elated they cleaned it up. Yes, That was part of the rehab. Part of the rehab. They're very strict about that. You know, they're very strict about that. The DENR is like the environmental people. Uh, but you know, it's the Philippines, man. You know, it's like. But people do report that. You know, of course, because they use the beach. You know, if I see it, I'll report it. You know, I would be upset. I would be upset if I see that. In Boracay, yes, yes. That rehab, the rehabilitation of Boracay did Boracay a lot of good. You know, I could even remember even the back beach, Bolabog Beach. Man, that beach was horrible. You know, before the rehabilitation because, like you said, they were just dumping everything on the back beach, and it was like horrible. But now they built a new esplanade. They cleaned it up. You know, it's like it's nice now. You know, a lot of people even prefer Bulabog Beach now than White Beach because it's less people. Oh, balikbayan guy. All right. Speaking of Bulabog Beach, all right. My wife and daughter took pictures. Yeah, the I love Boracay. I filmed that. I filmed that Bulabog Beach. Cool, cool. I mean, I am amazed because you know I've been coming. You know, the first I lived here in Boracay in 2011, 2012, and Bolabo Beach back then, it just didn't look right. You know, it was like everything was focused on White Beach. It looked like they weren't spending any money to fix the back beach or Bolabo Beach. But as you can see on the video now, man, it's like it's nice and clean. You got a nice esplanade. You know, about 2 kilometers of brick sidewalk where people ride their bike, walk their dog, people walk, and you got the backdrop of like the ocean, the palm trees. I'm sure they planted more trees because I don't remember having that many trees there. But they are, you know, one thing I can say because I've been around Boracay Island now for 14 years. The local government here is doing all they can to make Boracay environmentally friendly. They're making all efforts to keep Boracay clean. You know, it's a tall task. You know, it's a tall task. It's a big island, and people come here. You know, there's like over 2 million tourists come to Boracay every year. Per day, there's like 8,000 tourists that come to Boracay each day. So like over 200,000 a month, you know, so it takes a Herculean effort to keep Boracay clean. And I would just, you know, say that because I've been here long enough. I've seen what the LG, I mean, you know, there's always stuff that fall through the cracks, but they're always trying. They're always trying to improve. If you report anything you see to the local government, they do an effort, you know. Of course, you're always gonna find people that will criticize the local government. That's just the way it is, you know. It's like one thing I know when I was in the military, when you're in charge, you get all the heat. You know, I was a master sergeant when I retired in the United States Air Force. So I supervise people, I manage assets, and you take the heat for anything that goes wrong. You know, you do your best of what you can do, and that's how I feel with the local government. They do their best. You know, they have, like anybody else, I'm sure, with so many things happening in Boracay, you know, some things fall through the cracks, but I know they put out the effort. They put out the effort. I have seen, you know, improvements here in Boracay. They were there 2 years ago. Oh yeah, I mean, 2 years ago. I mean, right after the pandemic, I'm sure they had a good time because, like, right after the pandemic, it wasn't that crowded. I remember 2023, it wasn't that crowd. You know, the crowds hadn't come back yet after the pandemic. My good friend Tim C from Las Vegas. Yo, 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 yo. All right, all right. Hey, I kind of got off topic because I was going to discuss, you know, I got so many comments here that I had to go through, but I wanted to discuss how the importance of, again, medical insurance and hospitals here in the Philippines. You know, some of the options because Medicare is not allowed here. You know, they don't have Medicare in the Philippines. A lot of people that retire here and move to the Philippines, a lot of them, their plan is if they get sick enough to like really need a lot of medical care, they either fly to Guam or they fly to the United States. Of course, if you do that, you have to have like a medical emergency fund just for your ticket, expenses to fly, uh, food. And then when you land in Guam, you're gonna need, like, if you need to stay at a hotel, Airbnb, same thing in the US. Hopefully you have enough connections in the US, family and friends, that they would allow you to stay at their place. But it's good to like maintain like an emergency fund. But most people that come here, they just seek their medical care here in the Philippines and pay out of pocket. There are some that get Pacific Cross. Pacific Cross is like a popular for foreigners and expats. A lot of them get Pacific Cross, but it's not cheap. Pacific Cross, you have to pay depending on your age too. The rates, premiums go higher, and then if you have pre-existing conditions, they might not cover that. But there's like a Facebook page, medical insurance in the Philippines. Michael Olmstead, I think his name. Good place to get information on that, on Pacific Cross and medical insurance in the Philippines. But at the minimum, a lot of expats, when they come here, they get PhilHealth. As a foreigner, as an expat, you can get PhilHealth here in the Philippines. PhilHealth, it's not a full medical insurance, but it's a discount card. You get a lot of discount on medical procedures. There's certain things where you can get a discount, and to me, it's worth it. I've always had PhilHealth. For Filipino Americans like me, I'm dual citizen. My PhilHealth only cost me 400 pesos a month. That's like $8 a month. Why wouldn't I wouldn't get that to get a discount? That's nothing. But for expats, for non-Filipino citizens, it's 17,000 pesos a year. So 17,000 pesos a year, that's less than $300. To me, that's worth it. And it also, if you marry a Filipina, she's covered too on the PhilHealth. With PhilHealth, what it does too, it helps you, like a lot of hospitals, especially the private hospitals, when you get admitted, they ask for PhilHealth. If they know if you have a PhilHealth card, you get ahead of the line, because they know they can bill PhilHealth for certain items when you come to the hospital. So I always recommend to people, at the minimum, at least get PhilHealth. It won't hurt you getting PhilHealth, and for the cost. Come on, less than $300 a month. That's like $25. That's like a lunch or a dinner sometimes. $25. So well worth the cost of getting PhilHealth. And plus, it's another ID here in the Philippines. You get your PhilHealth ID card, so that's like an official ID here in the Philippines. RG, hey RG, thank you for. I think you're the one that I saw it. I hadn't commented yet. That you figured out what that tree is that I filmed, the other day, yesterday, the film that I showed there. The time we spent with you on your live chat allowed us to forget about all the nastiness that go. Oh, thank you, RG. That is so kind, my friend. That is so kind for you to say that. And I'm happy to hear that, because like you said, man, there's so much stuff going on in the world, man. I know, my channel, we're a small channel, but if I can just spread positivity each day, man, I did my job, that's one thing I'm proud of. It's like, my goal, like I said many times, my goal is always just to do good and be good. That's kind of like my motto, because I just want to, maybe earn some points, when it's my time, earn some points that I make it up the good place, Morgan, hi. Hey, Morgan. Hey, I'm doing good, Morgan. Thank you so much for our Balikbayan ga, RG, me too. Say, oh, thank you, Balikbayan guy. You guys are so kind. It encourages me more. That's why I love doing this live streams now, and it encourages me to make more videos, more positive videos, because like I know, it's like even me when I'm looking through my feeds on YouTube and I'm looking at it, it's like, what's going on in the world? It's like everything is like somebody got killed, somebody like protest something. I'm like, what the heck's going on? It's, but I know that sells. It's like, I know the negativity, the drama, that sells more than being positive. But I'm not gonna change. People actually really ask me way back. All our videos, like they keep telling me don't change, and I don't think I'll ever change. It's just the way I am. I'm just a positive person. People that meet me, they're happy to meet me. I'm happy to meet them. I'm happy to hang out. It's like I enjoy my life, and I think you guys can see that I enjoy my life. Marcus, hey, my good friend in Germany. Hey, Marcus. Good morning to you and Dazzle. Dazzle's still asleep, of course, but she's actually would not be surprised. I walked Chloe already before I start the live stream. I walked Chloe, and Chloe's like she got a bath. She got a nice bath last night from Dazzle because we took Chloe to the beach. And we let her swim. Chloe likes to swim, so she was swimming on Diniwid Beach, but she was really happy. The only thing we forgot was we have this thing for Chloe. It's her life vest, so she can swim very long. I noticed, Chloe's not a young dog. She's 11 years old, but she loves it. She's like doing the doggy paddle. We made a couple of runs where she was swimming, but I could tell she was getting tired. So I wish we had remembered to bring her life vest, but it was good. She had a good time. Every time she came to shore, she was like, like shaking. And then there's other dogs on Diniwid. She wasn't the only dog there, so that was fun. That was fun for Chloe. But she had like, the sand, the white sand all over her. So Dazzle had to give her a bath last night after sunset when we got home. Tanya, other than Boracay, what are nice places to visit or see in Aklan and the rest of Panay Island? Ooh, that's a good question there. Here, since you're already in Boracay, I always tell this to people. Since a lot of people, when they come to Boracay, they just stay in Boracay. There's actually a tour now here in Boracay Island that they offer, and I would like recommend it to everyone. It's called Mega Parao Tour, and they sell it at Front Beach. But what they do from Boracay Island, they'll pick you up here from Boracay Island like at 8:30, 9 a.m. from your hotel from White Beach. And they'll take you on island hopping tour. But this one, Mega Parao, they take you to the mainland. And what's nice is they already have something set up at the mainland. So basically, they boat you to the mainland in Malay Aklan, about a 15-minute, on the boat ride. Somebody's gonna pick you up there in a van, and they'll take you to Nabaoy River. Nabaoy River is like one of the cleanest river you're ever gonna see. I mean, that water is just like super clean. We have videos on Nabaoy River on our playlist. You can look at some of the videos that I've shot at Nabaoy River. But on Nabaoy River, they got zip line, they got ATVs. You can ride ATVs. You used to be able to ride ATVs here in Boracay Island, but they removed that because the ATVs, they're gas powered. Boracay's going more to like more electric. They want to start doing electric, so they moved all those ATV activities on the mainland. So they have like these courses that they set up on the mainland where you can ride ATVs, you can do zip line, you can do diving in the river, kayaking, paddleboard, just a lot of activities on the mainland. And I recommend it because like Nabaoy River is nice. It's an additional thing that you can see while you're here in Boracay Island. And then the other rest of Panay Island, I know in Aklan, we got Hawili Falls, yeah, Tangalan Beach. There's another place here that's close to the port in Katiklan Port, Buruanga. Buruanga, that's another nice place, Buruanga Aklan. If you Google Buruanga Aklan, man, they got some of the nice beaches there. Not crowded at all. No tourists. Hardly any tourists go to Buruanga. They got cliff diving in Buruanga. I mean, just in Aklan province alone, you can spend your vacation and not hit all the cool spots here. And then Capiz. Capiz is another place, where Rojas City is, the seafood capital of the Philippines. They got like beaches there. Panay Island is just surrounded by nice beaches. Waterfalls. There's waterfalls here in Aklan province. I know in Ibahay they have a waterfalls. In Malay they have a waterfalls. Just so many places. It doesn't get advertised, Tanya, because everybody just wants to go to Boracay. Boracay is just like, it's like the perfect place because Boracay got the nice beaches and then the nice hotels. A lot of these places in Aklan and Capiz, it's like mom and pop kind of resorts, Kind of like my friend Larry, he owns a resort in Antique province, about less than an hour from Katiklan, going to his resort. Beautiful resort. I filmed it, almost like a private beach. He built a nice old, he's got outdoor shower when you get off the beach, toilet. Beautiful resort that my friend Larry built there. It doesn't get the publicity, because everybody goes to Boracay. People love going to Boracay because of the convenience. You can fly to Katiklan, 15 minutes later you're in Boracay, and then you have all the restaurants, the mall, you got all the shops. You can eat American food, Italian food, Mexican food, all the food that you want to eat, even fast food. You got KFC, you got Kentucky Fried Chicken, Army Navy, Burger Burrito. They're going to open a Kenny Rogers Roasters on Front Beach. It's like the Waikiki of the Philippines is what White Beach is. That's why it gets most of the attention. But Panay Island, so much to see. They're actually going to build a freeway in Panay Island, and that's gonna I think that's gonna bring a lot of tourism. They're building it already. It's an elevated freeway that they're gonna build, and it's gonna be from Iloilo City, like about 30-45 minutes away from Iloilo City. So from Iloilo City all the way to Katiklan. And they're saying once that elevated highway is built from Iloilo to Katiklan, people from Iloilo City, it will only take them 2 hours to get to Boracay. So that's gonna make the tourism in Boracay even boom. And then of course the bridge, the controversial bridge. They're building a bridge from mainland Aklan to connect it to Boracay Island. That controversial, but I think it's on the way to being built. I like the less people time. Edgar. Less people time, much more peaceful. Yes, I mean, that's the thing, I always tell people in Boracay, me, I'm the same, man. I love the peacefulness, the less people, but I also like the crowd. It's like, but so for me, it's like the best of both worlds. That's why I love Boracay so much. It's like, I can spend the next 2-3 days just peacefulness, beach, quiet beach, no people. And then when I miss going to that where the action is, I want to eat some Mexican food, or I want to eat some Japanese food. I can go to White Beach and then hang out with with the people, eat the good food, and then go back to my quiet beach. So that's why I like it here. You get that because I lived here for 18 months before. When you're living in Boracay and you live in like the quiet area, after a while, it does kind of get boring, because repetition. You're just seeing the white beach, quiet beach. You're relaxing. After a while, you kind of miss that activity. And you miss the nightlife. When I lived here before, I I would go to like White Beach and hit like Summer Place and Club Parao, just to get some night activity. I was younger back then. I was 45 back then. Now, not so much. Not so much as far as like the nightlife. Balikbayan guy, you and me, brother, we will be neighbors in Boracay. We love it. All right, all right. I will see you, brother. Hey, I'm telling you, I already got Dazzle sold on Boracay because she also thinks it's the best place for us. I can see Dazzle and I getting a place at Boracay Nucos. I'll see if I can work getting just like a one bedroom because we still got Leanna with us. So or maybe a two bedroom. For sure we can afford that by the time my Social Security comes, and she can go to high school here. Leanna can continue high school. I found out yesterday there's actually 3 high schools here in Boracay Island. Boracay National High School, Tirol National High School, and another high school, I think by Barangay Manok Manok. So she can complete her high school years here because she won't be finished yet with high school if we move here in 3 years. Not a problem. And then we'll keep our house in Camellia Aklan because we only got like less than 6 years now, but like 5.5 years left on our mortgage there, and that house is gonna be free and clear. So someday when Leanna and our other nephew needs, when they go to college in Calibo, they can stay at our house in Numancia Aklan. So everything's kind of lining up. I just gotta stay healthy. That's the thing, man. I just gotta stay healthy. I just gotta do all I can to stay healthy. That way, all the plans be successful plans. Daniel, Boracay Brothers and Panay Posses. Hey man, you're coming up with the Panay Posse, man. You can trademark that, Daniel. The Boracay Bros and the Panay Posse. Hey, someday that's gonna be cool. More people come to Panay Island. We'll get together. We'll do like a hangout on the beach one day. That'll be awesome. I would like that very much. And even here in Boracay, just maybe a monthly get together here in Boracay. Boracay is just so cool because the thing about I enjoy in Boracay, since people come here to vacation, have a good time, it just has that vibe. You don't see many sad people in Boracay. When you go to the beach in Boracay, everybody's taking jump shots, everybody's posing on the Crystal Kaya, everybody's just happy because for a lot of Filipinos, and it's mostly Filipino tourists now, I would say 70% of the tourists now are Filipinos. When they come here to Boracay, for a lot of them, it's like a one-time bucket list. It's like their happiest time, they want it to be the most fun. They're just so happy here, and you get that vibe. Like even when I'm filming, they see me and they're waving at my camera, and I'm like, hey, where are you from? And we're from, they're like yelling. They're just happy. They're happy to be in Boracay, especially the long-term residents here. The long-term residents here are just so chill, because like they're living the dream, in my opinion. They're living the island living, the slow pace of life, like no stress. Great great to me. Cebu Pacific so cheap these days when they have sale. Easy to fly to Boracay. Yes, that's the thing, man, JB, Cebu Pacific, I'm amazed sometimes of the prices that you can get a round trip ticket, your round trip ticket for like less $50. You can get, it's just amazing how you can fly like that sometimes when they have the sale. IP man. Red Fred, hey, brother, I'm glad you made the live stream. Hey, hi, bro, love your new photo with the umbrella on your thumbnail. Dazzle came up with that, because like Dazzle took that photo and she thought it was just so cool, and she said we should just keep using that same picture instead of, because Dazzle does all the thumbnails. Yeah, that photo right there. That photo. We even put it in a cup. I only have two of this cup. One, my friend Gray. It was a goat. He was here. That was a gift for him. And this cup we made. But I think Dazzle is designing another cup. We're not gonna sell the cup, but it's gonna be a cup that we're gonna give to our subscribers that see us. Because a lot of times, subscriber come to see us, they give us t-shirts, they give us hats, they give us gifts. you know I want something, like some gift to the subscriber too when they see us. So Dazzle's gonna come up with like a Dazzle TV, maybe welcome to Panay Island, welcome to Boracay, something cup, and we're gonna hand it out to like subscribers that meet us. But we're not gonna sell it because to me it's like not worth the effort and all that. And then it's hard to ship these things anyway. They might break. We break the cup. I don't want to get into that. Selling any items. But she designs. Dazzle does all the thumbnails. She does all the designs. I don't even know how to make a thumbnail. Dazzle takes care of that. A lot of our IT stuff, a lot of like editing. I had to learn how to edit videos from Dazzle. She's got more patience learning new things than I am. She learns it and then she teaches me how to do it. Balikbayan Gayo. Sounds good, Sergeant. All right. Hey, I know for me it's fun because like we chat, we like live stream, we see each other on video chat when people call me. But it's fun for me when I get to meet you too. When we find like Daniel or Balikbayan, when I finally meet you guys, it's fun for me because it's like, man, we were used just to communicate online, and now when you're actually here, like hanging out, it's like, that's so cool for me too. It's fun for me. I've met many good friends now through our channel. Are there many discount or for senior expats in the Philippines? Good question there, Daniel. Because here in the Philippines, me, since I'm dual citizen, at 60 years old, I'm eligible for the senior card. My friend Ruben, because he has a Philippine birth certificate, even though he hasn't lived in the Philippines in 60 years, he got the senior card because he has a Philippine birth certificate. But a lot of businesses here, you will be surprised, and I know many have come here. You're not supposed to get the discount like as a foreigner or as an American living here in the Philippines. You're not supposed to, because there's a Republic Act that says the senior discount is only for Filipino citizens. But you will be surprised. They will give you the discount. Hotels, restaurants, without even asking for ID. A lot of times I guess they just look at you, and if you look old enough, they'll give you the discount. But it doesn't happen all the time now. It's like because the law only says the discount is for Filipino citizens only. But I'm sure, Daniel, when you come here, you will see that they'll give you a discount. Some businesses here, maybe it's a promo thing for them too, because like they want you to be a repeat customer, especially if you go to a restaurant and you spend a lot of money. Why wouldn't I give you a discount? Because it's like, I want you back. I want you back. So you'll see that. And seniors here in the Philippines, it doesn't matter if it's a foreigner, an American, Canadian, you just get respected here. It's not like in some developing countries where as a senior you feel like they don't care about you, or they just don't respect. Filipinos are very respectful with their elders, and you will see that. Don't be surprised if like a little kid like grabs your hand and do the mano po, and you're going like, what the heck's going on? Because children here are trained by their parents that when you see lolo or lola, grandma or grandpa or auntie, older people, you grab the hand and you put the mano po. It's a sign of respect. So as a American, that might be new to you when you come here. Little kids doing the mano po to you, but the kids here are taught that early. Even in public schools here, kids are taught to respect older people or people that's older than them. Doesn't teachers, Leanna school, there's kids just respect people here. It's just culture of respect. I think that happens in most Asian countries anyway. It's from what I see. Japan. When I was in Japan, it was the same thing. The Asian culture just respect their elders better than developed countries. 2D Hood Farms, 2D, my good friend Shane. All right, Shane, glad you made it. Glad you made it, my friend. Hello, Ginno and all. Hope everyone is having a blessed day. Hey, of course, everybody have a blessed day there, Shane. Got a new drake for my 2 ducks. Quacks. He is a big boy. He's a big boy. 2D, Shane always shares like we chat with each other offline, like online, and he shares like his baby chickens and ducks. That is awesome, my brother. Good morning, Kuya. Vegas Will Gambles. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Are you single? No, I'm not single. I'm married to Dazzle. We've been married 9 years. Come April is our 10th year wedding anniversary. Hopefully we get to celebrate. I told Dazzle we got to do something special for our 10th wedding anniversary in April. I was hoping to take her abroad, but Dazzle just do not like to fly. I was hoping to take her at least to like Singapore or Bali or something like that, but hopefully Dazzle can get over her fear of flying. But if not, if we don't get to fly abroad, I will take her something special here in the Philippines. I will come up with something for our 10th wedding anniversary. Balikbayan ba? Bulabog is beautiful now. They cleaned it up. So yes, I am amazed. Because for me, Balikbayan guy, I remember how Bulabog looked like 14 years ago in 2011. I was like, I would look at that beach before and I was like, man, this beach is a mess. Night and day, the improvement from 14 years ago. Now it's like they're taking care of it. And the LGU, they stay on top of it. Like the LGU, even on White Beach, every morning, if I go walk there like at 5:30 a.m., they got an army of people with like a sack, those empty rice sack, and they're cleaning up the beach. Anything that washes on the shore, because that's unavoidable. Things from the ocean come into the shore. It gets washed up. So you can't blame. There's like plastic bottle, stuff that wood, anything that washes up. But man, they have an army of people there keeping that clean, and I'm sure they do the same thing on Bulabog, because like every time I go to Bulabog now, it's like it's clean. It's like I'm amazed how clean it is. Ray, wish I can join you guys to celebrate the 1 year anniversary. Yeah, I'm gonna film it. Ray, my good friend Ray from Sacramento, California. I will film. I'll try to film a little bit because I'm sure there'll be music. That's the thing. It's hard to film when there's some music because we get copyrighted. YouTube is really strict on copyrighted music. So I'll try to film, at least show that there's gonna be vloggers there from Panay Island. They plan on attending. I know James and Karen Adventures, they're gonna be there. Our good friends from Balete, California, Balete, Aklan. So I'm sure we'll see them. I'm really excited to see them. The last time we saw them is at their wedding. So Dazzle and I are excited to see them again. I'm sure we'll hang out with them. I'll chat with James, and Dazzle will chat with Karen, and then seeing Michael and seeing Kat and Laura. So it should be fun, and I know there's gonna be other vloggers there. Some of them I know I watch, so it'd be nice to meet them in person. I'll try to film. I'm sure it's gonna be a fun night. Fun. We're just gonna go there for one night. We already have a booking at the Beach Bar Hotel. It's like less than a kilometer. It's on Bye Bye Beach, our hotel. So we can actually walk on Bye Bye Beach, going to the Canadian Beaver. We don't even have to drive the car there. I don't think I'm sure that in front of the Beaver, in front of the road there's gonna be a lot of cars there, a lot of motorbikes parked. So we're just gonna walk over to the Beaver and then just spend the night, just hang out, just enjoy the atmosphere. I'm not a heavy drinker. I might have one beer just to celebrate, just to toast them on their 1 year anniversary. But it's gonna be this Saturday, the 21st of June, at the Canadian Beaver in Rojas City. Should be a lot of fun. We're excited. We're excited on going to the Beaver. We've been there a few times now. We've taken friends to the Canadian Beaver. And actually, we've met people there, locals, like some of Michael's regular customers are, they know Dazzle and I, because every time we go there, we kind of hang out with them. Hi, what? Finland, all right, Finland. Thank you so much. Finland, earlier I saw Bosnia. I mean, it's awesome, man. I love seeing all the people from different countries, different parts of the world. That is so cool. That is so cool to me. It's like amazing how our little channel can like reach out to people all over the world, all over America, all over Canada. It's just, that to me, just amazing. Never forget that I got my butt torn up because one of my soldiers got in trouble, acted out. That happens. And when you're in charge, Daniel, I know that feeling. I've been in charge before, where how soldiers are, military guys, when they're on that liberty pass, they get crazy. They get crazy. And then you're responsible for them, unfortunately, once you start making rank. This is live. This is live right now, my friend. Veiled Messenger. This is live from the Philippines, from Boracay Island in the Philippines. I am live. HD, all right, live. Yeah, he is going down the list of live messages. Thank you, HD. Good greetings and salutations, HD. Charlie Latz said hi. All right, Charlie. God bless, my brother. I'm happy you're happy. Boston, Massachusetts. One of my best friends in the world, Leo. He lives in Boston. He used to be a counselor for 20 years. Everett, I guess Everett is close to Boston, but now he lives in Boston. Retired now. He just got his another master's degree. He used to be, me and Leo were on our first assignment in the military. We were together at George Air Force Base in California. I was 17 years old. Leo was 18 years old. Now we're like, Leo's 60 and I'll be 59. It's like we've been friends for all this time. It's like amazing how we've kept in touch. And Leo used to be a state trooper, a Massachusetts state trooper. And he got shot on the line of duty and they retired him, but he's a hero. He's a live hero from Boston, Massachusetts. Balikbayan guy. Hi, HD. All right, Balikbayan guy. All right. Any large old Spanish areas, towns, or churches in Panay? I wouldn't call it large because there's not many large areas you said Panay. Panay, yes. In Iloilo, of course. Iloilo City's got Molo Church, a big plaza. They have another one. Haro is another big area in Iloilo, Spanish built. Here in Aklan, I thought you had said maybe Aklan. Here in Aklan, the towns are kind of, every single town, I would say, there's 17 municipalities here in Aklan, 17 small towns. And each town, the way each town is set up is almost identical. There's like a Catholic cathedral church, there's a plaza. That's like the setup for all of them. Like even in our town of Numancia, that's the setup. There's like a small church, and the churches are old. They're like, 100, 200 years. Same thing in. We passed by this one place in Tangalan, same thing. In Lezo, it's the same thing. It's like a church, old looking church, like even the outside looked like, that stone, like made by stone. I mean, you can just tell when you walk in the church, it's like wood, like wooden, where you kneel and everything. And and then the plaza, everything's built the same. Of course, a basketball court, they add a basketball court to all the town plazas. But many old Spanish towns, the bigger ones are in Iloilo City. You'll see, like I said, Molo Church is nice to visit. Haro is another place that's nice to visit there. And same thing in Rojas City. Actually, in Rojas City, before you get to the beach area by the downtown, you'll see a lot of buildings, like Spanish type of buildings. They're now occupied by the government, but the outside of it, you can tell they were built during the Spanish times. Buy your dream home now in Boracay. Rent out. That way you can buy it at a cheaper price. Yeah, that's the thing, RG. I don't think there's any more cheaper price in Boracay, man. Everything has gone up in price in Boracay. I think Chloe is trying to get out the door. I hear her banging the door. Hold on. I might have to take her out to... I'll take her to the bathroom so she can pee. She probably wants to pee again. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Come here, baby. Here. You can pee in the bathroom. That's one thing good about Chloe. I can put her in the bathroom and she'll pee in the bathroom. We got her trained, so I don't have to take her out walking. But I'll make sure after this live stream, I'll walk her again. I already walked her once before I started the live stream, but she must be drinking a lot of water. Yeah, RG, like you're saying, it's like I remember like Michael was one of the subscribers. He mentioned he bought on New Coast the condos there 7 years ago, and 7 years ago the condos there were going for like 5 million, 6 million for the condo. You can't get that now at 5 or 6 million. You're looking at close to 9 or 10 million now. Pesos. The prices will keep, like you said, the prices will keep going up in Boracay. But I'll be fine, just renting, like even in 3 years, I know I can still find a good rental here. Southern Cal Benny said, hi, hey, Southern Cal Benny, all right. Ginno, does one just apply for PhilHealth coverage, or are there some work requirements? I'm also, oh, no, easy, man, easy for you. You're dual citizen. Most places like in Calibo where we live, anywhere you move to the Philippines, there's a PhilHealth office. And like when I applied, all you have to do is prove that you're Filipino. Like me, I had my Philippine certificate, like when I had to apply for dual citizen. So any document or a Philippine passport, if you have a Philippine passport, and you just show up at the PhilHealth, they'll look at your, and You just apply. You just it's a simple process, and it's like 400 pesos for dual citizens. So 400 pesos a month. Less than $100 a year. It's like, for me, that's like, I mean, we spend that on just nothing. So to me, it's just, that was an easy decision. I've always had Phil Health, and now, because now I'm a person with disability. I have a person of disability card, PWD card. I don't even pay for Phil Health now. It's free. It's free for me now because I'm PWD. That's why, here in the Philippines, those things kind of surprise me, how they really take care of the elderly here. Or PWD. They got programs here that they do take care of them. Like seniors here at 60, they get their senior card. You get your discount. Same thing with me, PWD. I get discount at hotels, restaurants, most anywhere. I get a discount now. Hi, HD Red Bread. All right. I'm okay. All right. Hello. Ginno, you're become international. I don't know about international star, brother. I don't know about that now. Robert, hey, Robert, long time no see, man. Long time no chat. Robert and I, that's my buddy in Gulfport, Mississippi. We were both Barksdale Air Force Base. We got stationed at Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana. I haven't had the chance to chat with you on WhatsApp, my brother. I apologize. Usually I'm good at checking on people, but I've been busy. Barack, I've been busy. It's our vacation too, but today I'll spend more time. I usually, like, when I don't hear from my friends that I met through our YouTube channel, I'll just say, hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? It's like, I need to do that today. I've been busy here in Boracay, enjoying, it's a vacation. So, but I'm glad you joined the live stream, my friend. I'm glad. Wow, Texas Roadhouse, man. I love that place, man. I love this. I remember eating good steaks at Texas Roadhouse in Tucson, Arizona. They have Texas Roadhouse here. I know my friend and BGC told me that they have a Texas Roadhouse in BGC. I don't think we have one in Panay Island yet, but would not surprise me if they open a Texas Roadhouse in Iloilo City. Iloilo City is kind of like just booming. That place is going to be like condominiums are being built. Landers, another, SNR is kind of like the Filipino Costco, but Landers is another Costco SNR kind of thing. And they're building one. In Iloilo City right now. Charlie Latz, that's awesome, man. It is super close. Thank you, and Leo, for your service. It's such a cool town. Yeah, man. Me and Leo, we video chat. We stay on each other. We've been good friends. I mean, we've been good friends for over 40 years now. It's like, that's the one thing about the military. It's like I have friends, lifelong friends. Friends for 40 plus years already, because our military service bonded us. We were young kids when we joined the military. I was 17. Leo was 18. We were just like kids out of high school when we joined the military. Rep Fred, hi all. Let's give our brother some love. Liking, subscribe. Thank you, Rep Fred. Appreciate it. Appreciate that, my brother. I got to go, man. Tuning in next year. All right, thank you so much, Charlie Latz. Appreciate your support, my friend. Jam Jamon, how are you? I'm doing good. Just doing my regular live stream here. Tried to do the live stream about 2 hours long, so we still got a little bit of time here. Going through all the comments here and everything. 1 million peso is about, yes, correct. Thank you, Daniel. I should have mentioned that. That way, when I said 5 million, 6 million pesos, they're like, "Ooh, that's a lot of money." It's in the millions, but 1 million is about $18,000. How much does PhilHealth cover? I would assume it's not much. It's not much. I mean, it's a discount on a lot, depending on the procedure or the medical condition. Like for me, it saved me a ton of money with my radiation treatments. I remember my radiation treatments, 33 treatments of radiation in the Philippines. It was gonna cost me around 400,000 pesos. So man, 400,000. That I'm trying to compute in my head. That's about $7,000 for the radiation treatment. The radiation treatment is so expensive because of the equipment that they have to have, the modern radiation equipment, then the technician, and then the radiation itself. I guess radiation, one of those things that the whole system is not cheap. So 33 radiation treatments would have cost me around 400,000 pesos, about $7,000. With my PhilHealth card, cuts it in half, 50% off on radiation treatment. So to me, man, that's like $3,500 off the bat. That's huge. I mean, for something that I pay 400 pesos a month, that was awesome that they cut it in half, the cost. And then I had my insurance too with TRICARE from America. So TRICARE, that saved them money because it cut the radiation treatment to like 200,000 pesos or about 3,500, and I only had to pay 25% of that. So that's why I know cancer, I know chemo and radiation's no fun. I wouldn't call it a blessing, but it was a blessing that I had PhilHealth, that I had TRICARE medical insurance here in the Philippines, because it wasn't catastrophic for me. It was like I had money saved, I have like emergency, and I still do. If something happens like that to me again, I can afford medical care here in the Philippines. And it's good medical care. It's like my background is medical. I've worked in hospitals in the United States for over 27 years, 20 years in the military, 7 years at St. Mary's Hospital. The medicine that I'm receiving here in the Philippines is comparable to the United States. Not all hospitals are like that here in the Philippines. You have to do your research, but the medical care that I received at Medical City Iloilo, and also at the Medicus Cancer Institute in Iloilo, would have been the same medical treatment that I would have received if I was living in Tucson, Arizona. So it's not like people always say that, get your care, substandard care in the Philippines. You just have to do your research. I agree that there are hospitals here that are not up to par with American hospitals, especially in the provinces. But if you do your research, there are facilities in Manila, there's facilities in Cebu City, there's facilities in Iloilo City that's comparable to the care that you would get in America. And you'll probably get better care by the people. Not that I'm bashing people in the U.S. I've worked in hospitals in the U.S. Nurses in the U.S., nurses and doctors, they're overworked. They work at the per patient, nurse per patient. One nurse in the U.S. is taking care of so many patients. We're here in the Philippines, you almost feel like you're like one-to-one with a nurse. It's the same nurse that's going to be coming into you, taking care of you, helping you. They just have more nurses. More technicians working at the hospital because they don't pay as well here, and they don't have the liability in the United States. That's what jumps the care in the United States, is the liability, the amount of insurance that the hospitals have to carry. That's what elevates the cost of medical care. But as far as like the quality of care, you can get the same quality of care here in the Philippines than in the US. Just my experience, my opinion. And like me, if I ever have to, like, even if I suffer a heart attack, stroke, hopefully not, but if I suffer that and I need surgery, I will get it done at Medical City. I don't have to fly anywhere to get that done. I am confident with the care that I would get at Medical City, Iloilo. But like Southern Cal Benny, I would have it. I would just get that PhilHealth because to me, for an expat, a foreigner, 17,000 pesos, less than 300 bucks a year. That's like 25 bucks a month. You know, it's worth it. To me, it's worth it. I always recommend it to people. My friend Brian from Houston, Texas, he got that as soon as he got here. It's like, why not for that small amount? The more insurance you have, the more discounts you have. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. Once you get sick, you're like, man, I'm glad I had that. I'm glad I had that. Ginno, I've seen one for 6.5 million peso at Nucos. Never been rented, but I suppose it depends on the floor and outlook. Yes, of course. Might be in the first floor, it might be the inside might not be like interior design. Maybe it's like 6.5, maybe it's just blank. Maybe it's a blank slate, which is not bad, because you can hire people here to decorate it, tile it, whatever, however you like it. Hey, Balloons Traveler. All right. Good morning, Doc. Hey, good morning, Doc. Good morning, Doc. Just listening. Texas Road in Cebu, grade 1, but you pay for it. Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't know they have that in Cebu. Thank you for sharing that. I know they have one in BGC. Now I know they have one in Cebu. Yeah, of course. State, man, you're going to pay the price here in the Philippines because more likely it's imported steak. It's not local. Some of the meat here in the Philippines, they're not the most tender meat. Like me, when I buy beef here in the Philippines, I throw it right into the crock pot and slow cook it because they are tough. The local meat here in the Philippines are tough. The local beef. Usually the tender beef that you get here would be from Australia or Japan. I have seen that here in Boracay. There's the Wagyu beef. They're not cheap either. They're not cheap because I guess imported from Japan. Same thing with the steaks. You can have steaks here in Boracay, but they're not cheap. They're like 1,500 easy, for the good Australian beef. There is. All right, man. I did not know that, man. I did good call, Daniel. I might have to look that up now. Texas Roadhouse in Iloilo. I know if I do go, it's like I gotta find something for Dazzle to eat because Dazzle doesn't eat steak, because she's seen steak. You know how steak is good when you cook it medium rare, a little bit of juice, a little bit of blood in there. And Dazzle, she won't eat meat that has blood on it. It's just a Filipino thing, I think. It's like I'm sure not. I'm sure there's many Filipinos that eat steak now, but for Dazzle anyway, when she sees blood, she said, "I don't think that's cooked." And for us to like well done a steak, that would ruin a steak. That to me, it's like I won't spend like $30 on a steak and then just to well done it. To me, that would be a waste of money. That's decent savings. That's decent. Yes, JB. That's why I said, it helped me. It's like it's one of those things with PhilHealth. You say, this is not worth it. This is not worth it. And then when something happens to you that's serious, you go, oh man, I'm glad I had it. I'm glad I had it. I'm glad I had PhilHealth. That's why I always push it on people now. If they ask me about PhilHealth, for me, it's like, why not? For that cost. Especially if you're dual citizen, 400 pesos. That's like what, less $8. Less than $8. A month. That's nothing. That's like why not have the card? Why not have the card? It's another piece of ID, if anything. There is no customer care in the U.S. this day. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that, Daniel. I hear that from a lot of people. But it's been a long time since I've been in the U.S., so I can't relate any longer. But I do remember, I do remember in the U.S. Even like I remember like eating at fast food places in the U.S. It's like. Here, man, even if you eat a fast food place here, like at McDonald's or Jollibee, Mang Inasal, I mean, they got good service. They'll call you sir, they'll call you ma'am. They're like, you can ask for things and they'll bring it to you. They train them well here with customer service. I mean, you might have to wait in line for a long time eating at fast food because, man, Filipinos love to eat. If you go to Jollibee here in the Philippines or McDonald's, there's always going to be a long line. No matter, especially at lunch hour, dinner time. Just in the Philippines, you will need patience here because everything in the Philippines is about standing in line. I hope PhilHealth will still be available 2 years from now when I go home for good. Yeah, I do hear things that funded or unfunded that it might not be available. But hey, for me, while it's available, I think it's worth having. If they in 2 years, if they don't have it, it is what it is. But hopefully, the government keeps the program going. I think they will, just because it really helps a lot of the poor people in the Philippines. Make care here more affordable. That's one thing. The Filipinos here. It's like a lot of people that I know. That's here when they get serious illness, man, they lose a ton of money. A lot of them don't have medical insurance here. A lot of times they'll start selling their vehicles, start selling their homes just to be able to pay for medical care, which is so unfortunate. So unfortunate. I've seen that happen here. Like even when I went to treatments, the people I was going to treatments, I would hear from people, they were saying, well, I can't continue with my treatments. I'm out of money. I'm like, man, that's so disheartening to hear that. It's like, just imagine you're going through cancer treatments and you run out of money to pay for cash. Because here in the Philippines, it's like cash basis here. A lot of Filipinos don't have medical insurance here. They just like sell what they can sell, borrow money they can borrow, and then when it runs out, they stop their treatment. Alejandro Ortiz, does airman that has to clean fuel bags, tanks in airport, man, it's not an easy job, my friend. Oh yeah, and like so true, man. Any of my my friends that were the crew chiefs, the people that work on the flight line, man, that's a tough job. Anytime you work on the flight line, on those hangars, because it's usually either too hot or too cold, because most military bases, they're located away from civilization. Normally, Davis Mountain wasn't too bad in Tucson, at least it's within the Tucson city limits. But a lot of times, military bases are built away from a city, away from a town, because of the noise of the jets. But I always tell this to people that served in the military. If you were enlisted military, I don't care what service you were, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Army, Coast Guard. If you're enlisted and you're in the and you did 20 years, that's an accomplishment, because an enlisted person, and I know many of my enlisted guys can relate to this, it's one of the toughest jobs that you'll ever have. Very stressful, very demanding. It's like not easy to do, being an enlisted person in the military, in the United States military, and do it for 20 years. We all made extreme sacrifices serving that long as an enlisted person. For years, I ate steaks well done, till I tried one that was about 50%. Loved it. It's all I get. Yeah. It's like for me, for me, well done kind of ruins the steak for me. I would never eat a steak well done just because it gets tough, and dry. It's like, but I have not eaten steak. The last time I ate steak was here in Boracay, actually, 2016. I remember the date specifically. 9 years ago now, the last time I ate steak, because I ate it with my a good friend from Hawaii when he visited us here. We ate it at the Cowboy Cocina. That restaurant doesn't even exist now. But I just gave up on eating steak because Dazzle doesn't like eating steak. So for me, I would be eating steak by myself. So I figure, and they're not cheap anyway. It's like steaks are expensive here in the Philippines. Boy, I have never seen so much death until moving here. I'm in the red zone, but medical here in Valley kills more than anything. Not being able to afford treatment, simple things. I know, Belus Traveler. People here in the Philippines, you really see the poverty here when people don't seek treatments for like simple things, and then it escalates, like even a simple infection, like you'll see guys with like infection in their neck, in their arm, and I'm like, dude, you can lose your arm if you have an infection, but people here, they don't go to the hospital here unless it's really like life or death, it seemed like, they'll usually just like throw some leaves on it. Oh yeah, put some leaves on there, like guava leaves or whatever leaves they put. Wrap it up. That should be good. You should be good, man. Coming from a medical background, man, it just makes me nervous when people do that here. But it is what it is. Most people here can't afford medical care, so there's illnesses here that many of us that lived in developed countries, we survive easily with antibiotics, with going to the doctor. But here, there's people that die here from dengue fever. There's people, things that are treatable, but they don't seek treatment. So there's people that unfortunately die here from that. Viaje ni Papsi. I have been silently watching your channel for a very long time. Greeting Cebu. All right, Cebu. Greetings from Cebu. All right. Hopefully Dazzle and I we can do need anything. Oh, my friend Joel. I just got a message from Messenger. He says need anything from the BX at Nellis. I guess it's at the BX at Nellis. Joel. I need sunscreen, Joel, sunscreen. I just bought a tube of sunscreen at the City Mall Boracay, and I paid like 600 pesos. That's like over $10 for a little bottle of sunscreen. Sunscreen is expensive here in the Philippines, and I always need sunscreen. I'm always protecting myself from the sun now. You see me wearing a hat all the time. I got an umbrella. It's like, I'm very protective now of being exposed to the sun. Viaje ni Popsi, thank you for your continued support, my friend. Hopefully Dazzle and I can make it to Cebu next year. I want to take our car to Cebu and travel the entire Cebu from like northern tip to the southern tip. Just travel the different towns in our car. I wanted to do that. Since Dazzle doesn't want to fly, we've done that in Luzon. We've done that in Negros Island. So I want to do that in Cebu Island because I like driving. I enjoy driving in the provinces now. I don't. That's the only thing that worries me if I have to drive in Cebu City. But I think I can manage. I just have to limit driving in Cebu City. I love driving in like the more provincial area, which I know I can do in Cebu. Mine Morenzi, Arizona, as diagnostic mill mechanic last 5 years, 28 years mining career. Tucson was a fun run. Few friends. I know. My good friend Annie, her husband worked at San Manuel, Arizona. He was a miner. In San Manuel, but he finally Annie was a nurse I worked with. Annie and I worked for like 7 years together at St. Mary's Hospital. And she finally convinced her husband to like go back to school. He was a minor. He was a minor at San Manuel. But he ended up becoming a radiology technician. He went to school for radiology to become a radio X-ray tech. He became an X-ray tech, and then now he works at the hospitals in Tucson, Arizona, as an X-ray tech. Because Annie, and I'm sure mining is not an easy job. That's a tough job to be in. Dangerous probably too. I have no experience in mining, but I know not as I mean, I'm sure they do, they do all they can to protect and safety, but there's accidents that happen in mining. That's why Annie pushed her husband to like give up mining and become an X-ray tech, since Annie was a nurse. Infantry GI was a beyond a hard life, but extremely grateful I did it and learned lots of lessons. I know, right? That Daniel, that's why. That's why I said, when you're enlisted in the United States military, you do the work. We were like the heart and soul of the military. We followed some orders that we don't agree, we just follow because that's what we're trained for. We're trained in the military to just follow orders and salute. Hey, text fed. All right, Brian. Good morning, good evening, Brian. Good morning, good evening. All right, I got to the bottom of the messages here. I'm getting close now to like 2 hours. That's usually my thing. I think I've discussed a little bit about the medical care. I've discussed about hospitals here becoming comparable to the U.S. Medical insurance, it's like get the most if you can get Pacific Cross. I highly encourage people to like get, if they can afford it, of course, get insurance when they come here to the Philippines. But if you don't have insurance, if Medicare is your main insurance, that's okay too, as long as you have an emergency fund. Make sure you save money when you come here, put away money. That way you can fly to Guam or you can fly to the United States to get your medical care. Because if you don't have insurance here in the Philippines, like most of the foreigners, most of the expats that I know here, all their medical care here is coming out of pocket, which is affordable. Like if all you need is like lab work, EKG, X-rays, general physicals every year. If you don't have a lot of medical conditions, it's affordable to pay out of pocket. It's those serious illnesses that you have to really plan for, like if a heart condition, like cancer, those kind of things. It can be very costly here if you're paying out of pocket. Hey, good morning, Ron Navy, my brother from the Navy. All right, Ron. Good to see you on the live stream, my friend. My best friend is Filipino in Morenci, U.S. Navy from Subscription Bay, electrician. We had about 30 Filipinos working. Oh yeah, I mean, Filipinos, man, it's like how Filipinos are everywhere in the world. Sometimes it surprises me, like when I hear from people, they're working all across the world, countries that you would never expect. How that Filipino made it over there. But that's one thing. It's like about Filipinos, they will travel for work. Because a lot of Filipinos, unfortunately, when they live here in the Philippines, they know it's only a certain level of income that you can reach here in the Philippines. So they do not mind at all going to the Middle East, even, dangerous parts of the world to get a chance to earn good money and save, so they can build a life in the Philippines. Our overseas Filipino workers, there's just so many of them, work overseas and send money. I don't think the Philippine economy or the Philippine people here in the Philippines cannot survive without all the overseas Filipino workers working all over the world and sending money back here. The remittance, that's part of the GDP here. Is like the remittance coming from all over the world. Many people I know, even in our community I live, in the gated community, a lot of the people living there, the wives or the husbands living there, their spouses are working abroad, sending money to afford a mortgage or afford the house, afford to send their kids here in the Philippines to private schools. You pretty much have to like work overseas in order to afford like to own your house here, and then send your kids to private school. You need that high income, and a lot of that, unfortunately for Filipinos, they have to travel abroad to do that. Yes, need insurance. God bless. All right, God. It's like I always push that to people, man. It's like if come to the Philippines, but be prepared. Have insurance, and if you don't have insurance, research the hospitals. Don't just fly here to the Philippines, plan moving here, land at the area where you pick, and don't know the hospitals in the area, because you don't want to have that surprise in a medical emergency and find out that your town or the province you selected doesn't have the capabilities to take care of you medically. Make sure when you go to a place here in the Philippines, first thing you got to check, go to the emergency room just to visit it, just to see, because they might say emergency room on the outside, but when you walk in, they might not have the equipment that normal emergency rooms in the Philippines have. It's like even the ambulances, I know in the provinces, they call it ambulance. They'll stick a sign on it that says ambulance, but really it's just a multi-cab. Really, it's just transporting you. They don't even have a defibrillator on a lot of those. And to me, that's like basic emergency care. So you have to have a defibrillator, but things like that. You need to like research that, or at least when you get to your place of location here in the Philippines, make sure they got that stuff. Because during an emergency, it's not the time to find out that they don't have a defibrillator. They don't have trained medical technicians in the area where you live. They're basically just the tricycle drivers just transporting you to the hospital. Man, that is not the time to find out those things. I know you're enjoying your vacation. Take care, my. Hey, I know, Brian. That's why I haven't been able to message you as much. Like our sports. We talk about our sports and all that, because just been enjoying vacation. Because like when Dazzle gets up at 10, we usually hit the beach. We'll hit lunch somewhere. Sunset, we walk Chloe to the beach. Chloe swam on the ocean last night. So we're enjoying our vacation. What surprised me about medical there is its family members who have to be there to take care of their loved ones in the hospital. Whereas over here, nurses, yes, I did a video on that, Ron. I'm glad you mentioned that. Here in the Philippines, when you get admitted to the hospital, you are required to have a watcher. They call it a watcher. You can't be by yourself in the hospital. You have to have a watcher, a relative, friend, or anybody that's going to be your watcher. Because a lot of times in the hospitals here, when you get admitted, you're required to get the medication for the patient. In the US, the hospital has a big pharmacy that carries all the medication, even IV bag, you name it, the hospital will carry it. Here in the Philippines, the hospitals in the cities would have that, but the hospitals in the provinces, a lot of times they don't have a big pharmacy, so they might carry your standard antibiotics, but if you need like more specialized medicine, the hospital won't carry them, and they're not going to send out a worker in the hospital to get your medicine. You have to have a watcher to like get the medicine. Your doctor will write the prescription. Your watcher will have to go to Mercury Drug. Mercury Drug here in the Philippines. They're like pretty much the number one pharmacy, most medications are a mercury drug. So whoever your watcher is, that person's gonna go to the uh, mercury drug and get your medicine and bring it to the hospital. So a watcher is needed. Like you said, Ron, you need somebody in the room, and then to assist you to go to the bathroom. I mean, some hospitals here, like I know, when I got admitted to Panay Hospital, man, I got VIP treatment. I got like 2, 3 nurses helping me, but I don't know if that happens for everybody. But I got treated well. I had nurses coming in and out of my room, like taking care of me. Dazzle was there, of course, but they did most of the work. What else? Like if you need lab work or you need like X-ray at the hospital, your watcher has to go to the cashier and pay for it first. If you can believe that, because Dazzle had to do that at Panay Hospital. Every time I needed blood work, she had to go to the cashier, pay it first, and then the lab tech will get my blood. Things like that. You gotta, you don't have that in the U.S. In the U.S., all the care is done at the end of your when you get discharged, you get the big bill. Here, man, it's like pay as you go, and then it helps that you have a watcher, because most of the food at the hospitals here are terrible. Like most hospital food are terrible anyway. But it was nice that Dazzle was there, because she can get me like food outside the hospital and bring it into me. Yes, Subic Bay. He made more than me. Subic Bay, yes, Subic Bay. He made more than me. I love Filipino YouTuber Rance and Naina. All right, Rance and Naina. All right, let me take a photo of that. That way I can look them up. I can check them out. Check them out here. Let me take a picture of that. All right. My truck was ambulance 3 years. We have moved now and 2 trained. That's a huge improvement of my multi-cab tiny truck. Have a great day. Have a great day, Balloons Traveler. Man, what kind of services are here in the Philippines. Have a good day. Have a good day. All right, I'm at the 2. Ray, okay, also, if the patient needs blood, you have to find someone that matches the blood type, and you have to pay the person give. Yes, mom was admitted at St. Gabriel Hospital in Calibo. And what we had to do for mom in order for her to get blood, we contacted relatives in Caticlan. So our relatives in Caticlan actually had to go to Calibo and donated blood. And so mom could get the blood she needed, because mom was going through she needed a lot of blood, when she got admitted at St. Gabriel Hospital. Like I said, when you're sick, that's what you need, a watcher. You need a watcher to take care of all that, because when you're sick, a lot of times you can't do a lot of that stuff. Contact people, that's an added stress to a patient. That's why here in the Philippines, you are required to have a watcher, is what they call it. I did a video on watcher. I'll probably do another video about that and speak about that, because many people don't understand that watcher thing here in the Philippines. Public hospital in Iloilo, where Melissa's mom had her surgery, they had to feed her, change her, and all. Yeah, I mean, public hospitals, of course, Ron. I've only gone to a private hospital, so I know I get VIP treatment, but a public, I've never gone to a public hospital here. But actually, for me, since I'm PWD now, Ron, if I go to a public hospital, it's free. It's free for me to get medical care at the public hospital here. But I prefer going to a private hospital, because usually the public hospitals in the Philippines are overcrowded, not well funded, and like you said, the family members do most of the care. They have a nurse, of course, but limited funds when you go to a public hospital here in the Philippines. That's the difference. If you go to, and most expats, most foreigners that I know, most go to a private hospital. I have not met anybody that has gone to a public hospital, because in a public hospitals, man, I have seen it. I have gone to a public hospital in Calibo. They have patients on the hallway. You don't even get a room because when the rooms are packed and it's never a private room. In the public hospital, see, there's like 4 people in the room with one bathroom, shared bathroom with family members in there, and they run out of room. They putting people on the hallway. So that's what I said. That's why I know most foreigners will not get themselves admitted at a public hospital here in the Philippines. Most go to a private hospital. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, HD. Have a great day. Bye, HD. All right, balik bayan guy. Thank you so much for joining the live stream this morning. See you on the next live stream. Our Panay posse should get bloodless expat, others to donate blood. Hey, man, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea there, Daniel. We can get our posse. Our Panay posse. Yes, that's why she went to public, because the government helps with costs of surgery. Private hospital couldn't afford. Yes. That's why I said public is cheap, but again, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for when you go to a public hospital here. Have a good day, Ginno. Have a good day, Balikbayan guy. Thank you. All right, good deal. Looking forward to your visit next year, brother. Can't wait to meet you in person. Have a great day, Balikbayan guy. Have a great day, everyone. Have a good day. Have a blessed day. Thank you for joining the live stream. Take care, everyone.